Okay. Hey, I didn't see this coming. And normally I'd be like, all right, pass. But at this point, I'm the point where we're at, I'm like, hell, why not? All right. Welcome back to Cardinals Daily. I'm Eddie Law. If you're already part of the squad, hey, appreciate you being with us since day one. And if you're new here, smash the sub button. It really helps out the channel. And the more we grow, the better content we can bring you guys every single day. So let's get right to it. A certain former Cardinals All-Pro running back, has been working out, going on long runs, getting his legs under him. He's going to run 26 miles in a New York Marathon, and maybe, just maybe, start running some running for us. Maybe get some carries for us. Who am I talking about? Yeah, you read that right. Should the Arizona Cardinals bring back David Johnson? Yes, that David Johnson, the one who electrified the league, the one who, for a moment in time, was the most dangerous offensive weapon in football. Obviously, he's currently unsigned. He's not on the team. He hasn't played in a minute. I'm sure he's tried out for teams and all that, but nothing's happened. And he's publicly hinted that he'd be open to coming back to Arizona, right? Let's unpack the situation emotionally, logically, and football wise, of course. So, how does it even come up? He was doing an interview with Arizona Sports, and they asked him. He was talking about how he's doing the New York Marathon and all that. That's great. They kind of asked him, like, would you suit up? And he was like, yeah. Makes you think a little bit, doesn't it? And with some of our needs. Before we talk about it, though, we got to go back because younger fans might not realize just how dominant David Johnson was. 2015, next man up rookie story. Injuries in the running back room. Boom. DJ hits the scene like a meteor. Never get the job back. He helped lead the Cardinals to a franchise record 13 wins and the NFC title game. Let's be honest. In that blowout loss to Carolina, he was the only Cardinal player who showed up, the only one who looked playoff ready. 2016, one of the greatest offensive seasons in franchise history. Over 2,000 yards from scrimmage, over 20 touchdowns plus, I think it was. Nearly became the first player in NFL history to hit 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving yards in the same season, if not for a late season injury. He was freaking Thanos in cleats, right? He was the heartbeat of the offense. He wasn't just great. He looked revolutionary. He looked like he was changing the position for a brief moment. He was the best running back in the NFL, no debate whatsoever. But football is cruel. Injuries hit, coaching changes happened, the roster falls, it fell apart. Before you knew it, DJ went from cornerstone to trade piece, and not just any trade, folks, the trade. If you guys remember this one, DJ for DeAndre Hopkins. That deal will forever live in NFL trade infamy because Houston got screwed so badly. He goes to Houston, the Texans fall apart. He never fully regains the dominant form either. And suddenly, the guy who looked like a future Ring of Honor, member became a remember when story in NFL circles. That's how fast this thing moves, man. So why are we talking about him now, right? Well, like I told you, he was doing an interview with Arizona Sports and everything, and hinted that he might be ready to come home, right? Arizona's still home, right? His best football memories are here. His identity as a star was here, and look, that matters to him, to fans. Look, Cardinal fans, we have a soft spot for DJ, right? The story that up until he got paid and then forgot he was a running back, but before then, we love the story and we love a redemption arc. We love a homecoming story, right? But this football logic loved that move too. Now, DJ isn't coming in to be 2016 DJ. He's not coming in to be the starter. He'd be coming in to be a rotational veteran, like a pass game threat, locker room leader, a bridge teacher to young backs. And remember, even in Houston, those bad teams, he flashed in the passing game, right? So you put him in third down role, limited touches, but let him do what he does best: catch, create, mismatch linebackers. That'd be interesting. And hopefully, he can move the same way he used to. But it is what it is. If the Cardinals need another back tomorrow, and the choice is a random journeyman or a beloved former All-Pro who knows the culture, it's not really a crazy conversation. It might sound like it is, but it's not really. If DJ's serious about a comeback and the Cardinals want a veteran presence who could still be a weapon in the passing game, hey, if I'm Monty, if I'm Gannon, I'm listening, right? Not as a nostalgia signing, although it would be a little bit of that. Not really, not as a charity deal, but as a smart, low risk, high leadership move that gives fans a feel good storyline and gives the locker room a pro's pro. DJ and Cardinal red again, if the time and fit are right, I'd like to see it. Why not? And so would have a stadium, by the way. Not more than this, have a stadium. Like if they announced him, coming onto the field, the whole place would erupt. I kid you not, guarantee it. So, what do you think, Bird Gang? Bring DJ home? Or is that chapter closed? Let me know in the comments. Meanwhile, what's Kurt Warner up to these days? Huh. Never know. Even Brett Favre, why not? All right. My next part here is I really do believe this needs to happen. I think Monty needs to get off his ass and start making some phone calls. And I'm not saying he's not, but the NFL trade deadline is here, right? And if there's one thing we learned about the Cardinals, about Monty, it's that he doesn't really sit still. He doesn't freeze up. He doesn't say, "We'll wait for next year." 2 years in, two true trade deadline swings, and sitting at 2-5 with playoff hopes leaking like a busted roof in monsoon season. If there was ever a time to take another swing, it's right now, right? Let's talk about why Monty has to be active and what kind of changes what kind of moves will change the trajectory of this franchise on the back half of the season. So this is not new behavior. Monty has a pattern, right? Last season he found Baron Browning, right? A raw, underused pass rusher, buried in Denver, turned him into a foundational piece for us. It cost, I think it was like a 6th-round pick, something like that. Return, 19 pressures, multiple splash plays, a legit edge duo with Josh Sweat. That's front office vision. That's talent identification. That's conviction. So it worked once. There's no reason it can't happen again, right? Championship GMs don't wait for the offseason to fix problems. They strike when the league is moving. Look around. New England makes moves. Philly makes moves. The shark is circling, and Arizona needs to jump into the water. So this team, this season, this team has fought. They competed. They pushed good teams to the brink, and we heard all year, we're so close. Okay, damn it. Prove it. Prove you're close. Show the locker room we believe in them. Inject some juice into a roster that's tired of moral victories and 3-point heartbreaks. We are getting healthier. Key pieces are returning. The bones of this roster are not broken. They're just underpowered in key spots. The move now says, hey, we're not folding, right? We're not punting on the season. We are attacking and going for it. And that matters for players, for fans, and the culture Monty and Gannon are trying to build. So, what's the move? What's the next Baron Browning type swing? We'll look at our needs, right? Offensive tackle depth, because we lived this night before. Tight end depth, another weapon, another chess piece. Someone to help McBride because we lost a couple of tight ends. And wide receiver, obviously. We need a true yards up to the catch threat or a vertical burner to push safeties. Think Christian Kirk in his prime with us, right? A running back, explosive juice behind Bam Knight and Michael Carter's on the practice squad now. So whoever's in there now, Amari Mercado, I guess, and Trey Benson if he comes back. And no, we're not talking about a blockbuster star, really. Unless you're talking about Breece Hall. To me, that's a blockbuster move. Because I think he's a great piece for us. And damn it, Monty, go get him. But we're talking about a hungry player boxed out on another roster who becomes a weapon here. A guy who has talent, stuck in a scheme problem, right? A guy who just needs reps, belief, in the right coaching. Sound familiar? Well, it is, because we've seen it. Baron Browning is proof. This team doesn't need a miracle. It needs a spark. And if Monty hits, even a small one, it can snowball into something bigger. The Cardinals aren't dead. The kids aren't dead. The Cardinals aren't dead. They're not tanking yet. They sure as hell aren't mailing it in yet. A trade now isn't about panic. It's about progress, right? It tells the locker room, hey, we believe in you. We believe in this season. We're not giving up on 2025. We're not waiting for 2026 to matter, right? Monty Ossenfort took his first swing last deadline and found gold. It's time to start swinging again there, Monty. Go get me Breece Hall. Because when you keep saying we're close, you eventually have to make a move that gets you there. So, Bergen, your turn. Who should Monty go get? What position do you want upgraded the most? For me, it's running back, plain and simple. Being a running team, get a guy like Breece Hall in there to get back that magic. And especially if it's Kyler as a starting quarterback, but even if it's Jacoby, a running game will be massively beneficial to either one of those guys. All right. Got a big game Monday night. Monday Night Football. Dallas, Texas. Cowboys. Bergen, buckle in. Because Monday Night Football isn't just a game this week. For the Cardinals, this is the fork in the road for this season. Record 2-5, last in the NFC West, and not where anybody expected to be halfway through the season either. And here's the thing: you can't talk. We're still alive mathematically. You can talk close games if you want. You can talk injuries, but none of it really matters anymore. This Cowboys game decides the direction of the season. This isn't just another NFL week. This is 24 hours before the trade deadline. You beat Dallas, you might just flip the narrative. And Monty could spend, bring in reinforcements, say loud and clear, we're not done yet, we're going for it. You lose in prime time. You drop to 2-6. You're staring uphill at the entire NFC, and suddenly the smart move becomes selling assets, reloading for 26, and getting capital and cap flexibility, right? Draft capital. This game isn't just a matchup. Season referendum. Dallas is not good. Let's be honest. Their record's kind of They're mid. They're desperate. Both teams likely need this game. They need it like oxygen. And here's the fuel. Here's the fuel to the fire. Arizona finally getting some reinforcements, right? Hopefully Trey Benson comes back soon. After this game, obviously, Walter Nolan has been on the field, on the practice field, getting reps and all that, been ramping up. Hopefully he's close to playing. Darius Robinson already came back. Hopefully he shakes off that rust that he had pre-bye because he was not great. And Garrett Williams is waiting in the wings, coming back from IR. So this defense that has been duct taped and grinding through injuries, might suddenly get a burst of young, fresh, high draft pick energy, right? You start stacking those pieces with a win. Why not? Monty has ammo, motivation to pull the trigger, and move. Maybe it's a receiver, maybe it's a tight end, maybe it's a quarterback, maybe it's a running back, maybe it's a depth tackle or whatever, another depth piece, right? New England's moving pieces around. Philly's already wheeling and dealing. This year's deadline isn't quiet, and Arizona shouldn't be either. If they win, against Dallas, obviously. Morale shifts, reinforcements are coming. Front office, may actually go out and get players, and the locker room believes again. Wild card dreams stay alive. Look, 10 wins probably get you in. It's unlikely, yes, right? Especially in the NFC West. Impossible, no, right? Got to get a little lucky, but it's not impossible. Teams have gone on late season runs before, including this franchise, and if they lose, the playoff path is a mountain. You could just forget about it. Okay, season becomes evaluation mode. Moves may be made for future assets. Monty looks towards building the arsenal for 26 and beyond. And look, that's not really giving up. That's just smart team building. It's just business, right? You either build up or you start prepping to build again, right? And the assignment isn't easy. Dallas is volatile, explosive, inconsistent when they're volatile, they're explosive when they're healthy, inconsistent, yes, but they're dangerous. Offensively, they could blow up at any moment. Defensively, they're beatable. They've shown cracks. In fact, they're one of the worst statistical defenses right now, I think. So they're not good, so they're definitely beatable. Arizona will need discipline on defense, balance on offense, red zone conversions for freaking crying out loud, zero meltdown moments, Kyler. And look, you beat Dallas, and the story shifts from season slipping away to this team is young, scrappy, getting healthy at the right time, and they're not done. And that gives Monty the green light to go get somebody, right? One game, one night, one chance to choose a direction on prime time. The Cowboys matchup, it's not just football. It's the season's identity test, right? The Cardinals are a rebuilding team still learning how to win. Like, that's the question. Are they? Or are we a bruised up contender that just needed to get healthy and catch a spark? To me, Monday night decides it. You build up or you rebuild, and until that final whistle blows. Really, the fat lady might be warming up, but she ain't singing yet, folks. Big time matchup, big time game for us on Monday night to decide the rest of the season. It sounds a little far fetched, but if you're a Cardinal fan, you know damn right I'm right. You know it's true. All right, Bird Gang, breathe deep. This one matters. Leave a comment. What you think about that little breakdown there? Do you think this is make a break for us? Because I think it is. But do you believe so? And if we win, do we bring somebody in finally? And if we lose, who do we sell? Because right now the names are Calais Campbell and a couple other pieces here and there. So we'll talk about it here, folks, on the next show. Excuse me. That's going to do it for this episode of Cardinals Daily. I'm Eddie Law. Do not forget to hit that sub, please. Hit the bell, hit the like, leave a comment, tell your friends about us, man. The more we grow, the more the more support we have from you guys, the better content we'll be able to bring you every single day. All right, Cardinals football, folks. A couple more days till game day. We're on the seats, folks. It's gonna get crazy. Go Cardinals.